Hey everyone, this is Stamping Songbird and it's Monday. Today is the second of 2 videos that I'm uploading because I missed last week due to the problems with my camera. I have a new camera and this one's not so great either, so I don't know what I'm going to do next. But it's working and that's what's important. So it is Making Monday. We're going to make this cute little purse and I'm going to use the Stamping Up Le Petit Purse, I think it's called. Please don't quote me on that. I think it's called Le Petit Purse die. And what I really want to show you and how to make it look like leather or faux leather. Okay, so what you're going to need is, of course, your die. And I thought I had it on me and I don't. So I'll just show you what it looks like once you run it through. You're going to need versamark ink or ink pad. You're going to need some embossing powder. I have clear embossing powder from Stamping Up. You're going to need, of course, your cardstock, whatever color you want to use, and I'm using red. So I took a sheet of red cardstock and I ran it through my machine. And again, I ran it through the Big Shot. It's the Le Petit Purse, I think it's called, from Stamping Up. But there are so many different dies that you can get from different companies and from Sizzix, because Sizzix is the company that Stamping Up uses. So I ran this through my machine, and then I ran the piece that came out through an embossing folder. And you can use any embossing folder, and what the embossing folder does is that it embosses or gives it the little bumps or whatever the shape is, and it raises it. So I used one that is round, kind of like the same as this one, just because I was thinking, what would look like crocodile, or like a crocodile leather bag. So I ran it through that, and that was a little hard because I had to put it, angle it, and do a whole bunch of things to it. But I got my embossing shape. So really what we're going to focus on is how to make it look like faux leather, okay? And you could do this with anything. It doesn't have to be with the little Le Petit Purse die. It could be with anything if you just want to give it that leathery look. So you're going to need a sheet of paper. I'm using a sheet of a magazine that I tore out, and all of your pieces. Then the next thing you're going to need is your versamark ink. So the versamark ink has to go all over your embossed paper. I'm going to say embossed paper from now on because, again, you don't have to use the little purse die to do this. You could do it with anything that you emboss. Okay? Oh, and I didn't mention that you're going to need a heat gun. I know some people use hair dryers, but I don't know how to use a hair dryer. So I do have a heat gun. I'll show you what that looks like now. And I'm just going to make sure that every inch of this is covered, including the strap of the purse. I usually forget that and I have to go back and do it over. So I'm putting this Versamark ink. Versamark ink is clear. It's just very, very sticky. And it helps with embossing, for the embossing powder to stick. Oh, okay. So I'm going to put that away, and then I'm going to grab my clear embossing powder, and I'm just going to cover everything. Just cover all of it, every inch of it. You're probably going, oh my God, look at all that powder she's using. It's just so much. No, you actually need all of this, and you don't use it actually. You need it to cover, but you really don't use it all. So you're going to take that off, move it to the side for a second. Take all this off. Take a quick look at it, make sure everything is covered, and if it is, move it to the side. Then you're going to take that sheet, this is what it's for, to take whatever's left of your embossing powder, put it back into your container. See, waste not, want not. You really use very, very, very little. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera. Okay, I'm going to keep my sheet there anyway, even though it's powdery at this moment. Oopsie, just dropped my little purse. I'm going to put these guys back on. I'm going to grab my heat gun. Now, heat guns are super, 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 super hot. You can definitely get burned faster than with a hairdryer. So this is what it looks like. This is what my heat gun looks like. I think I purchased this a long time ago from probably Joann's. It says Embossing Heat Tool by Marvi Yukita or Yoshida. I think it's Yukita. So you can buy this at any craft store. I'm going to just turn it on. I'm going to use my pen to hold my pieces in place. So I'm just going to go over that. And I don't know if it's going to come out on camera, but you can see how wherever you put your versamark ink and the powder, it turns shiny. And it's instantly dry. This is sort of like melting the powder. And you can see all of the embossing coming through. Now you don't want to hold the gun too close because you don't want to warp your paper, because that can happen. The heat gun is super, super strong. I'm talking over this heat gun, not knowing if you can hear me or not. So I'm going to take my strap, hold it with my pen. You can hold it with anything. An ice cream stick, whatever. Okay, make sure it's all covered. You don't want any powder showing through. And that's it. It's quick, just a couple of seconds. Let me take a quick look at it. Looks like it's ready. So I pre-folded, oh, it's a little warm. I pre-folded all of the, what do you call these? The little they're not perforated, the folding lines before I did the embossing, just because once you emboss it, the paper tends to feel a little harder, so it's harder to do all that. So here I am, I'm folding, and I'm just going to make the purse because it's cute and to show you what it looks like at the very end. But again, you can use anything. You do not have to use the little purse. You don't have to use the little purse die. Anything that you emboss, you can do this method on it, so making it look like leather. I'm just going to grab some score tape and just tear that off. I'm going to put this on the tabs here on the sides. Score tape is really strong, so it's good to use when you're making boxes and things. And I made it a little too long, so I'm just going to try to tear off another piece of it. Okay, and it's easy to tear. The red double-sided tape is super strong too, but it's not as easy to tear as the score pal tape is. So I'm just going to fold over any excess, and then I'm going to go to the next tab over here and do the same. You don't want to put the purse together before you put your tape on all your spots, because then it's hard to fold it. And this is a tiny, tiny little thing, and my hands are very big, so just going to take that backing off. And be careful when you take your backing off, because you might take the whole thing off. It's hard to grab when you don't have nails. Okay, got it. Okay, so then I can put my purse together. So this piece goes here. Just gonna press it. Should have moved this over. Now my little purse is getting powdery again. Okay. Then I'm gonna turn this on. I may have to put the heat gun again just to get rid of that powder. Let me pass the heat gun again just to keeping my fingers away. I got a bit of powder on it. If that happens and you can't brush it off, just pass the heat gun around it again real quick and it'll take it off. Okay, all done. So the basic body of the purse is done. I need to now add the strap, which I also embossed. It doesn't have that bumpy feel to it. I'm sorry, I didn't emboss it. I put versamark ink and heated it up with the embossing powder to give it that shine. I'm just going to use for this the glue dots. So on the shiny side, I'm going to place 2 glue dots on each end. And glue dots are also very strong, and they fit perfectly along that strap. So just go like that. You're going to stick this on the inside of the purse. So here's one, here's the other one. Okay, I need to put the top of the purse through. And you can add a little embellishment here. So the die comes with a little slit. I don't know if you can see that. And that's where this little tab is going to go through. And you have your purse. And it looks like a cute leather purse, faux leather purse, just using your heat gun, some embossing powder, and versamark ink. You can do this with anything. I just decided to use a little purse because who doesn't love a leather purse? I do love my leather purses. It's really, really cute. You can add a bow, you can add a button, you can add anything you want. It's easy to make. It's Make It Monday. You can make it. You can make anything. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye-bye. Happy crafting.